if we have not met, I'm Ashley. I'm the CEO and lead strategist at Onya, and we are an online advertising agency that helps companies turn their goals into realities. And so we're going to dive right into trend spotting. And most people have maybe not heard of trend spotting, but think about for a second, the top brands in the market now, whether it's Apple, whether it's Nike, Adidas, launches, these top brands, Airbnb, they are the names that everyone turns to when they want to know what is coming. It's why there's hype around every new iPhone launch. It's why people care and pay attention to these companies. And by keeping an eye out on what the industry as a whole is doing, no matter if you're product-based, if you're service-based, if you're in a completely different niche, this is how you can gain the traction and the power to disrupt your market by paying attention to these major brands and the massive shifts that they are making, capitalizing on them and translating them into ways to digest and implement within your own company. So let's break it down here for a second. What is trend spotting? It's really simple. Trend spotting is exactly what it sounds like. Trend spotting is the ability to spot a trend in the industry so that you can adopt it, stay on top of it, and get ahead of the next big thing. But true trend spotting has to go beyond just one trend. It means being able to actually cultivate and curate things that are going to continue to allow you to do this within your business. It means spotting things that have the potential to trend and adapting them before they even begin, okay? This is really, really important to recognize because think about sounds and popular different things on TikTok. By the time they go viral, the trend is typically ended and it's a lot more hard to get on the bandwagon, which is why people, when they're creating content on Instagram Reels, it's a lot harder because that trend has usually been on TikTok for a week or two. By the time people are moving over and creating it, it may or may not still be as popular, okay? And so trend spotting in your business is looking at things not just from a tactical level, but like some of the smaller nuances, like Apple. When they do their iPhone launch, there's a runway period, there's samplings, there's some guerrilla marketing tactics. It's not just this whole lead generation campaign, rinse and repeat. And I think that today, and you know what, there's an element of rinse and repeat within your own business that and copy paste that is really important because the consistent behavior over time is what allows you to evaluate effectiveness in your marketing and allows you to test one variable at a time. So hear me when I say trend spotting is not negating your marketing tracking, your marketing performance, and testing the existing successes that work. It's slowly but surely making sure that you are constantly on the lookout, knowing that digital marketing is always evolving and being ready to capitalize on a single trend within your current strategy when it arises. That is the really important distinction that I want you to make. You should continue to execute your marketing strategy and plan. You should continue to track, monitor, and measure KPIs in your business. You should continue to make sure that you're doing all those things. And if you haven't, be sure to reach out to us. We can help with this area because it's critical for you to know what's working and what's not working, what you need to stop doing so that you can be successful. And to kind of give another quick thought as well, some people wonder, well, isn't trend spotting the same as market research? You're looking at trends, you're analyzing the market, what's going to happen. And in some ways, yes, trend spotting does involve market research to a degree. You're looking at things, but it really does go beyond that because market research looks at the market. It looks at your pricing, your competition, whether it's crowded, whether it's over or underserved. It looks at past and present, okay? There's a distinction. Market research is past and present. But trend spotting, on the other hand, is focusing on present and future. It's focusing on what is going on right now when a customer interacts and purchases and how that might change their behavior. It enables you to be an early adopter or starter of the newest thing before anyone else looking at past, present, and future. So why does this matter? Why should this be incorporated in your strategy? Why should this be a significant component for you to take and implement in other areas? Well, trend spotting paired with a healthy dose of traditional marketing in the intersection of marketing culture gives this coveted understanding that helps businesses know what the mass market is going to want in the months and years to come. This is going to elevate your culture and your business, looking at your past, present, and future. And so trend spotting really is going to help you say, okay, reels are of the future. LinkedIn, for example, here's a trend spotting example just on the micro level. LinkedIn is introducing short form content. Hasn't necessarily been released yet, going to be released, going to probably be a major disruptor, probably going to change the way that the algorithm works and functions. Okay. There's a trend, it's spotted. Now is the chance for you to evaluate. You need to ask yourself, well, do I have B2B clients? Is that going to be a good content form for me? Do I think that I get enough business on LinkedIn that I need to be an early adopter? Even if I don't prefer and I'm not good at video, do I need to learn to create this type of content to evolve? That's one example. Another example would maybe be, I'm trying to think, user-generated content, right? This has gone mainstream now, but user-generated content and influencer marketing as well. There's a difference there. So user-generated content is usually for product-based companies more often than not, but it's videos, posts, stories that people that use your content or use your product are generating about your brand. And then an influencer is somebody that's endorsing it. So a little bit of a difference there, but user-generated content, there are now agencies that will offer this product to business service where they'll connect the business with a consumer that can create content about your brand, post it to really elevate it. They're not an influencer because they're not necessarily getting your product out to a huge group of people, but that's an example of a trend. And agencies started to recognize this. They began offering it as a service, and it's kind of bypassed. It is popular now, but one of the best things you can do is get ahead of these trends before they even happen. So how do we start? Now that we know kind of what trend spotting is, how do we start? Like, how do you begin implementing this in your business? It's very, very simple. All you have to do to spot the next thing is to be attentive. They say that curiosity kills the cat, but the rest of it says the satisfaction is brought back. And so you want to look at behavioral patterns. What are your customers doing? What are major influencers and major brands on social media doing? What are startups doing in the marketplace? What guerrilla marketing are you seeing major brands do? What are other new companies that are coming into the playing field doing and gaining traction? Who is that overnight success story that you find yourself hearing about? Okay. Those are things that you want to look at. Same thing with social media platforms. What is the algorithm beginning to favor? What content are you more regularly seeing on your feed that's appearing probably as a result of it being prioritized? Where are you getting Google alerts sent to your email? Do you have marketing trends as a Google alert sent to your email? Are you subscribing and constantly listening to podcasts like ours or getting on email newsletters like ours that are giving you these tips in real time? Are you watching? Are you engaging? Are you asking questions? It's really, really important to put this into practice regularly. And it doesn't have to be this long thought out structured process. Trend spotting is really as simple as staying attentive to these things and notifying your team or whoever's handling your marketing to ensure that it's being implemented in a way that's effective in your business, or that you are staying up to date and active. Because as the CEO, as the entrepreneur, as the marketing director, your role and your responsibility is to make sure that you are implementing these practices in your company. So I would love to know, as we wrap up today, had you heard of trend spotting? Was this helpful? Are you needing more tips and tricks on this? I would love to hear from you and know how you implement this in your business, or how you maybe plan to implement this in your business, and what your questions are.